Hey everyone, welcome to the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgity. We're here to chat about all things mental health, share some awesome stories, educate, and advocate to break stigmas and gain power through knowledge for all ages and walks of life, and give you the tools you need to boost your mental game. So grab a coffee, get comfy, tune in, get inspired, and let's dive into some fascinating conversations. Remember, your mind is super powerful, and with the right tools and knowledge, you can master your mental playbook. And while you're doing that, take care of you. Hey everyone, Christine here, and welcome back to the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgity. Today I have Erin. Everybody knows Erin now. She's been on a couple of times. She's becoming a little celebrity in her own right. And we are going to be talking about how to navigate end-of-year workplace stress. So some mental health tips for employees and employers. So you have an employee and an employer here, and we can kind of offer some strategies for each. You know, as the year wraps up, many of us feel extra pressure at work. And we have deadlines, there's year-end responsibilities. Some people, for employers, it's fiscal year-end. Some, like myself, is earlier in the year. That can add a lot of stress. And there's also, holiday events, and both personally and at work. It would be interesting to know for some of our viewers, what's happening psychologically, right? That makes this period so stressful. So, I have my ideas about why the end of the year is a unique stress period for employees and employers, but I would be really interested to know what your perspective might be on that.
That's a good question. Oh gosh, I'm trying to just even think of myself. I don't know. I think one of the things that maybe comes up, like being an employee, would just because again we are kind of coming up. There seems to be in this like period right now a lot more like holidays, so trying to maybe like find that work-life balance of trying to support, especially in like the field that we're in, like trying to support our clients who are experiencing like stress and just like overwhelm with, because holidays can be a hard time. Just, I always think it's going to slow down at Christmas, but it doesn't. People are always like, I need to talk to you. But I think it's really like just, I guess for me personally, it would be trying to make sure that I'm taking the time for myself to enjoy like the holiday season and not feel guilty about doing that.
Taking some time off.
Yes.
I know that we feel, especially depending on when the holiday, Christmas and Boxing Day land, do we want to, the 27th is a Friday, do I come back? Do I take a long weekend? But what if my client needs me? Like there's all of that work-life balance. What do you see with your clients? Like in their workplace, like if they talk about workplace and the stresses what do you see most?
I think it would just be, like a lot of stress because I think it just feels busier, like a lot of like maybe deadlines, like kind of like you mentioned, like it seems like kind of the end of the year there's a lot of deadlines of things to get done, and so I think there's like definitely like an increase in stress in that way, like I would say like a lot of overwhelm, a lot of stress, and just trying to like get things done. I would also say too probably some burnout, I think, kind of just like getting to the end of the year and just feeling kind of exhausted and not trying to find that motivation and that drive to kind of keep pushing through to the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think too, yes, we have work deadlines that happen, but I think a lot of people, whether it's personally or professionally, they put that pressure on themselves because it's the end of the year, right? I think that a lot of people are like, oh, it's the end of the year, I have these goals, I need to get them done. Why? Extend them.
Yep.
Unless it is a, productivity thing that it has to be done then. But I think that my perspective and from what I see from clients is they have all these things that they want to have wrapped up by the end of the year as like a natural break,
Yeah.
right? And I'm all about natural breaks. When I worked in the school system, if a kid had to be, a student had to be removed for, I'd say, let's try to make it continue, like bring him back in after lunch so that he's going back in the classroom with all the other kids, kind of thing. So I think there's, that, but I think that I personally, professionally think that it's end of year, right? Like end of year. So this has to be done and this has to be, that's a perception.
Yeah, because I think it ties into, like, I know you've talked about this before with like New Year's resolutions, right? I think people think like, okay, December 31st, anything that we had going on this year, it just ends, and then we start January 1st and it's like, all new.
Clean slate.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think people really do put that pressure on themselves that, like, even though it's like, January 1st of a new year, things that we were working on the year before, projects, whatever it is, they can just continue on. It's just another day.
And it's, like in Canada, I don't know about other countries, but from an employer's perspective, T4s and everything have to be out to do taxes by, like, at the end of we have till the end of February, but we have to do the paperwork and stuff to have it completed December 31st, right? And you're just getting over Christmas, and so I think that there's that too. I think a lot of the real pressure, I mean, do you think that it's more like internal expectations or team responsibility, or maybe the employer organizational goals?
Honestly, I feel like, just thinking of like a lot of the clients that I have, I think it's like internal, the expectations they set for themselves, because I feel like there's a lot of just differences. If somebody has people pleasing tendencies, right, they really put a tremendous amount of pressure on themselves because of those other factors. And then so in a session, if I challenge somebody on that a little bit, we are able to kind of unpack and see that it is more so themselves and like the pressures they're putting on versus like their employer, right? Maybe their employer is telling them like, if you need an extension on this, that's totally fine, or they're not actually putting any pressure. So I think that, I would say that's probably one of the big things I see most of the time. There are also, again, that's like a whole nother topic, but sometimes just with like, depending on the field that somebody's working in, or the workplace environment itself sometimes can be toxic, and that adds like a different type of pressure. And then but I would say for the most part, it's people putting their own expectations on themselves. That
I agree. I mean, I do have some clients that's organizational, the pressure that is put on them for productivity by end of year, like retail. I have clients that work in retail, and Christmas is a big, right? And so many clients, when November hits, they're like, I just can't wait till January. I'm like, don't wish our life away. But it's because they know the pressure that's put on them organizationally, and then also because it's retail at Christmas, like people, and the sales, and then Boxing Day sales that happen, and all of that, and how much pressure can. So they're looking forward to the end of the year, but that's added pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it shows up differently for leaders, employers, or leaders and employees. And I mean, I'm an employer, you're an employee, and I want you to answer honestly, not because I'm your boss in any of these. If we do, this is more about how we're helping other people, not our practice, but it is what we do, right? So, I mean, like, you are an employee and I am an employer. So I think that from an employer standpoint, we're different too, in the sense that the end of year isn't any deadlines for us other than I have to do all the taxes, but our fiscal end is end of August, and that's more pressure on me personally to do all my books and my accounting and everything than end of year. But I think that for employers, sometimes the pressure is, and these are clients, like things that I get from clients too, but the pressure is to come up with new ideas. And, and in our profession, the end of year, like you said, people struggle. I find we used to get more clients before Christmas. And now the week after Christmas, I usually have more clients the week after Christmas.
Yeah.
So normally when I take time off, if I do, it's going to be the week of Christmas and not after. But I think all of you guys took the week after this year, which is fine. But just the way it falls, right? I don't know. Some years, everyone's great.
Yeah, it always changes. I know. I feel like I have a mix. Like, you can never predict it really, but like people want to get their kids in because they're off school, but then I also have some people who, a lot of stress and like having to see family, so they want to get in over that like Christmas break period. But I think a lot more workplaces now are also doing like performance reviews and like, having their employees like set goals and what are things that they want to work on. And so I think I'm kind of curious like how that plays into, when people make New Year's resolutions, like how that, and if people are kind of almost dreading that goal setting because they've experienced New Year's resolutions that don't always stick or last. And then
I don't know.
I feel like goal setting, maybe, I mean, I'm used to it because I have to do it, we do it, obviously, with our performance reviews and stuff, but also just as part of my college, like, I have to do, that's actually coming up, I have to do that.
Actually, me too. You just reminded me, I have to do mine every 2 years, and it's end of November, I have to have it done by. There's another pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's end of October, actually, that I have to do my quality assurance, and
me too.
I think there's a module in there somewhere too, but there's those things. So I'm used to the goal setting, and I do like it, but I feel like some people maybe even if they don't know how to set goals or what that looks like in their profession. I don't know.
Did you notice that your performance reviews, you and your colleagues, was in September and not beginning of October, and not the end of the year?
Yep.
One might think that your boss is a psychotherapist and knows that that's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Because goals, the goals that we came up with are for the year, so it would be for September, not for January. Yep. There's always a method to my madness.
Yes.
You do know that.
Yes, of course.
Just because I act like I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, I do.
Oh my gosh, I know that. I know you always know.
Yeah. Your clients, going back to being busy around Christmas, I have all adults, right? As you were talking, I was thinking, well, because the girls that took off after Christmas are kids, and some parents want to get kids in, but a lot of times they take, like, we're just going to take the Christmas break to not, like, to just chill, right? So, but I have adults, and so that's why I'm busier, I think, after. How do you think the pace of work that people have during this season, during Christmas, how do you see that affecting mental health? I mean, people are used to busy periods, but how do you think that affects mental health?
Well, what I would say I see is, again, I think it comes down to people feeling like they don't have enough time. So, first, I think this time of year just feels busier in a sense, and it feels like, trying to get things all done before the end of the year. And so then I think also people are putting that pressure on themselves because they think they're going to run out of time to do things. So I think that adds to people feeling like stressed, and, again, just I think further contributing to that, like burnout of, if they don't get something done, by the end of the day, their work day, whatever that might be, they're either working into the evening because they feel like they have to, and then that pours into their home life, right? Sometimes I'll have clients that are, maybe they're talking about their spouse who's like, seems like they're working 24/7 and, not really engaging in like with their family, etc. Because they just feel like they need to be working all the time to get things done. So it's almost like, I think because of that stress, they feel like they don't have enough time, and time feels like it goes by faster, and then, it's kind of that cycle.
I agree. I think, too, for myself, soon as December 1st hits, I mean, I always have the notes app in my phone, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and what I'm doing each day to check off. But as soon as December 1st hits, I'm like, because we have our staff party, I host Christmas, breakfast and dinner on Christmas Day, and getting, doing a Christmas shopping, running a business, and doing all that goes with it, and then doing the job.
Yeah.
From an employer's perspective who has a busy personal life too. That's a lot of pressure. And I was just saying to my niece the other day, I'm like, because I was up at like 4 a.m, and I was like, the last 3 years, as soon as December 1st hit, I was up at 4 every single day for the month of December.
Wow.
And I was like, for someone who always puts things together for other people, yeah, because I think my brain just says, no, you have a lot to get done in a day, so you need to be up early. Because I try to go back to sleep and I can't, so I just get up and start working or start doing things at that time. So I think that there's the work pressures and then the home pressures at the end of the year, and trying to fit everything in. I also think that there's financial pressures being the end of the year, and so people might work more overtime. They might feel that pressure to work more because the holidays are often very expensive. And some people have difficulty with gift giving, and that kind of thing is their love language.
Yeah.
Or they want to give their kids everything and they can't afford it. So there's all of those pressures.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I think, yeah, financial too, yeah, would be a big one.
Yeah. Do you see any subtle signs of fatigue or overwhelm? Another situation where my brain was going faster than my mouth could keep up again, that employees ignore, like clients that come in and then you kind of point it out to them and they're like, no, oh.
Subtle signs. It's a good question. I think one thing that I've actually probably been seeing more recently now is people saying, just little things, like saying, like, oh, I just I have all this stuff to do, but I'm just not really feeling like doing it. And they don't always connect it to that they're feeling overwhelmed. They just think like, oh, I'm just, maybe they'll say I'm lazy, or I'm, just lacking motivation. And, it's kind of that helping them to even piece that together, right? Or that they have this to-do list in their mind, and it's and they just, feel so overwhelmed by the amount of things that they think they have to get done. But they don't always connect it to those things of that they're already feeling stressed, or that's kind of slowly building. I would say that's a big one, just people just in their own mind, not really fully.
Yeah. And I did a podcast on owning your time, right? And that people have these calendars that are organized and color coded and everything, but none of the stuff is for them. It's family obligations and work demands and all volunteering or whatever it may be, but it's not. If your calendar is jam-packed with things for everybody else and nothing for you, if you don't own your time, you just ignore that. You just keep doing, well, I'm organized. Yep. Okay. That can absolutely. And I think that there's a fine line. I mean, I know in Canada we have a lot of the Human Rights Code and Commission and employee standards. Employers in Canada have to, they're legally obligated to have a psychologically safe environment. So there's that. There's parts that they have to, so even if you didn't tell me that you were struggling mentally or something and I saw that you were, I am obligated to ensure that you have accommodation and that kind of thing. However, I'm not allowed to ask you what's going on or anything personal, or that's really hard
Yeah.
as an employer, right? That's a huge pressure.
Yeah.
And if around the holidays or the end of the year, you see people stressing or, you know, because your employee might be someone who doesn't have family at Christmas. I have a lot of clients that don't have family anymore or in around and don't have many friends. And as you know, everything is every commercial, everything's about family at Christmas, right? So that can be really hard. So if you have an employee like that, or if I walk past your room and I see that you look kind of down, I mean, I have a rapport with my staff that I'd be like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Right? Or you guys will come to me and say,
Yeah.
"Can I talk?"
Yeah.
But a lot of, you know, so I know what I can and can't
Yeah.
do, what you guys would accept, but also